Hey mathematicians, Caitlin Henderson here with a very quick Unit 7 Lesson 4 vocabulary video. This unit is on the midpoint formula. We've talked about midpoint before, but let's go over the concepts for this lesson and make sure that you understand them before we get started on the lesson itself. First up, we have talked about this before. The reason why I keep bringing this up and the reason why this is always in our definitions is because students regularly make mistakes when it comes to identifying the coordinate location of a point. So for midpoint theorem, we are going to be reading coordinates. So let's make sure we understand what they are and how to identify them. Here, remember, coordinates are a specific location on a graph, one specific point. So in this case, for this point, we have the location 2, 4. The first number in our coordinate is the x-coordinate. It identifies where the point would cross the x-axis if we draw a line to the x-axis. Sometimes we're really lucky and it's sitting on the x-axis, but a lot of times we just kind of have to draw a line either going up or down, right, from that point to identify where we're sitting on that x-axis and identifying the x-coordinate. Then we have the y-coordinate. It is the second number. Just like with the x-axis, with the y coordinate here, we just draw a line going all the way over until we reach the y-axis. Oops, that's not the right spot. Our spot's right here. So in this case here, we have the coordinate 2, 4. So we are crossing the y-axis at the point 4. And then for this one down here that I just drew, we're at -2, -2, -2. Okay, that's where if we were to draw a line taking from our point over to our y-axis, we would hit -2. Okay, that is what coordinates are. That is how we read coordinates. Please, please, please take your time reading coordinates and making sure you understand the locations themselves. Next, we're talking about midpoints. Midpoints are the exact middle of a line segment. So we have a couple line segments. Last lesson, we talked a lot about finding the area of rectangles. Let's talk about finding the midpoint on a line segment for a rectangle, right? Midpoint is the exact middle. So basically we're cutting it in half and both halves are congruent to each other. They are equal. Here it's pretty nice. If we count, we have 2, 4 is our distance. And so that just means that our midpoint is like 2 units up, right? This is going to be our midpoint M right here. So that means the length of, let's call this point A, this point M, and this point B. So the length of AM and BM, these are going to be congruent or equal to each other, okay? Something else that we need to make sure we understand is what an average is. So the average is taking a bunch of values like 1 plus 2 plus 3, okay, adding them together and then dividing them by the number of numbers, or number of values that we have. So we have 1, 2, 3 values. So we're going to divide it by 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, and we divide that by 3. So that means the average number here in this case is going to be 2. So these are kind of the key things that we're going to be focusing on when working with midpoint. It's a very, very quick unit, and guess what? There's not a ton of vocabulary words. So like always, reach out if you have any questions, and until next time.